Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not heard about the story about this young man that you see on my screen, we're going to give you some details about it. We're going to show you a couple of news videos, but I want to show much respect for this young man that you see on my screen, okay? The stepmom of that 11-year-old boy who was actually missing in Colorado, the stepmother was arrested in South Carolina, and now she faces murder charges. And you guys know they do not take those murder charges very lightly at all. That's the type of thing, depending on what state you're in, that you could get the death penalty for, or you could get life in prison, right? So it's a very, very serious charge. And I'll tell you guys this also, just for a little clarity. They generally will only charge you with that if they feel like they can absolutely get a conviction for it. So there's a lot of damning information against this woman with that square ass head. Like, she literally looks like that Icebreaker's gum, that square gum. And it looked like somebody just stuck some eyes in her head. She looks like the Icebreaker's gum. Horrible looking face. Like, she looked like a goddamn meth head. Seriously. Let's move on. Officials from the FBI and the El Paso, Colorado Sheriff's Office announced that they arrested that woman that you saw on the screen. Her name was Letecia Stauch, or Letecia, whatever. I don't really care to pronounce her name correctly, but I'll spell it for you, though, so you guys will know. Her name is spelled Letia. Letecia, or Letecia Stauch, Stauch, during a press conference Monday streamed by various news outlets. Stauch's stepson, Gannon, let me get Gannon on the screen here so you guys will know exactly who he is, the young man. Right here. That is Gannon Stauch right there, okay? Now, again, that is not her biological son. She is the stepmother because she married his father, okay? Stauch's stepson, Gannon, went missing from Colorado Springs area about 5 weeks ago. Police from Colorado, Myrtle Beach, Horry County, scrolled a little bit too fast, Horry County and Horry County Sheriff's Office arrested Stauch without incident on Monday morning. El Paso County Sheriff Bill Elder said. Police have yet to say where in Myrtle Beach the 8 p.m. arrest happened. Now, why wouldn't they tell us where she got arrested? I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but let's keep going. You know what? It actually could, I guess. Maybe if they arrested her at a family member's house, that might be a good reason maybe not to put that out there, but let's move on. Stauch faces first-degree murder charges, child abuse resulting in death, tampering with a deceased body, and tampering of physical evidence. Why does all of that sound familiar? Literally because we have been doing this all year long. We are just now coming into the second day of March. So that means for 2 straight months, we have, like, almost every story, if not every other story, has been very similar to this. There are so many stories that have come out. A lot of them, they haven't even fully put out a full statement or investigation, which is why we haven't been able to report as many stories as we have as of this point, and we've still missed a lot of them. This type of thing happens way too often, and I absolutely get sick and tired of hearing about stories of these babies who can't speak for themselves, nor can they defend themselves against the tyranny of a bitch named Letecia. Absolutely sickening. The lady that you see on the screen there, that's the biological mom. I can only imagine how she feels. That a man that you had a kid by turns around and marries an ignorant broad like he did that did something this heinous. It is absolutely just unthinkable, okay? Now, if she's convicted, she could face life in prison, as we've already stated. Elder said Stauch will be held in J. Rubin Long Detention Center pending an extradition hearing. She has yet to appear in public mugshots from the Horry County Jail, but you got her picture. That's close enough. Elder said police have not found Gannon's remains. I must say that again. Elder said police have not found the boy's remains, but they continue to search. El Paso Deputy Lieutenant Mitch Mihalko said based on the charges, they do not believe Gannon is still alive. I cannot stress what a difficult time this has been for Gannon's family, Elder said. Landon Hewitt, Gannon's biological mom, so I guess that's her name, Landен, that's the biological mom's name. Landon said that the ordeal has been a nightmare. Today I got the worst news and the best news, she said at a press conference in Colorado. I will make sure that justice is served. And I do have a little bit of her interview. If you guys want to see that, just post it in the chat and let me know what you guys think, okay? Now, Myrtle Beach area ties. What do you even call her? Because technically she would be the legal mom if she was married. I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing. But the stepmom. Let me get her picture back up on the screen real quick. Also, let me take a pause for the cause real quick. I did see the comment about the shirt earlier. Thank you very much. I'm just trying to switch it up a little bit. But thank you for the compliment. I did see whoever posted that earlier. Let me also thank Kimmy Cole for joining the channel memberships. You now have a brand new badge next to your name. Actually, that's you coming back. So apparently you've already been there before. You just came back. So Kimmy Cole, thank you so much for joining the channel membership. And I absolutely appreciate having you as a member of the AFC. So thank you so much for that. Really appreciate that. Let me see if I can find her picture again. And we're going to talk about that screenshot here in a minute. Letecia Stauch has several ties to the Grand Strand area, including serving as a teacher. How many times have we done stories about these teachers doing stupid stuff? Raping kids. Just the most ridiculous shit. They've also done things like what? They've bribed students for their grades and shit like that. Man, that's just scary to think that these teachers can just do some of the most stupid shit ever. But according to Letecia Stauch's LinkedIn page, she was a teacher in Horry County from October of 2010 to October of 2015. Horry County School spokeswoman Letecia Stauch worked as a paraprofessional in Horry County schools from November of 2010 until 2012. From 2012 to 2015, she worked as a special ed teacher. Though Stauch also listed working for Colorado School District, through a spokesperson told the Colorado Spring Gazette that despite her listing this, she worked for the district. She never has. So they put that out there that she's lying. She was dishonest about that. So she wasn't an employee of theirs. All right. Let me also give a shout out real quick to Resistor Diode #1. Thank you very much. That keep up the good work and send in a $2 super chat. So thank you very much for that. And also let me thank Irene. Is it Shalary, who sent in a $2 super sticker. And I don't know what currency that is, but it's really cool. So thank you very much for you guys' contributions. Want to thank you for that. Oh, you do want to watch the video. Okay, got you. So I will play as much of these videos as possible so you guys can get a full story. So for the people you say you do want to see the interview, I will absolutely show it for you. Okay? Stauch also had her teaching license suspended in 2015. They suspended her. Oh, you say the clips are moving a little too fast? Okay, I sure can adjust that. Give me a second. Let me see, which one did you miss? Let me back that up for you. So since we're doing this live, I can adjust for you. There might have been something you were trying to read. Not sure which one it was. But maybe something like this. Those are all of the charges right there. That's a lot of charges. Let me take we'll talk about that here in a minute because it's a lot. But she had her teaching license suspended in 2015 after she failed to show for work to start the school year in Marion County. The state school board revoked her license for 180 days, according to court records. She said she didn't show because of harassment and retaliation related to her husband's pending military move. Now, I don't really know how that works, but let me go ahead and give you guys the fair usage. Let me go ahead and show you guys the news clips, and we'll go ahead and get started. While you guys are here, if you would, do me a favor and click that thumbs up. Please share this stream and let other people know that we're live so that way more people and more of our members can see that we're live right now, okay? Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. All right. We're just going to let these roll. Oh, shit.
Really,
I might not be able to hear this.
Not in the correct mindset to be even standing up here, but if I had to say one thing.
If you guys can't hear this, then I'll show a different version of this video.
That when he said Gannon is no longer with us, I'd have to say Gannon.
Let me also take a pause real quick, and let me say thank you to Melly Mel. How about that? Let me take a pause real quick. Hold on. Let me pause this, if you guys do not mind. Melly Mel sent in a very, very nice Cash App. If you guys do not mind me reading that, said, "Fight the good fight for our babies, Jay." Melly Mel sent in a very nice Cash App. I don't know if you guys want me to read the amount, but it is very, very nice. But thank you, Melly Mel, if you're listening. Stram in the chat sent in a PayPal. So thank you very much. Guys, we got a couple different ways if you guys want to just support the platform. So thank you very much. You said you can hear it? So we're just going to let it roll. All right. Let's let it roll. Let's get it. This is the biological mom, by the way.
And is with us. After the stories of people from all over the world, he's not only my hero now, he's the world's hero. So I thank the community, the positive support from a state that I've never visited other than 2 or 3 times. I'm astounded by the amount of love that's not come from me. It's came from my boy. And never thought I'd be standing here. It's a nightmare. I've had to put trust in the people I don't know. Today, I got the worst news and the best news. Obviously, we know what the worst news is, but the best news is that justice will be served. And I'll make sure that justice is served, because my boy did not deserve any of this that has happened to him. So I urge media one more time just to hold off on questions until we know that this person, the stepmom that I even trusted, that she will pay 100% for this heinous thing she done. And I know that that's going to will be done. So I ask you guys, I beg and plead of you, if you've known or if you see this story, all of you have seen this story, please hold that very close to you. Because I want to live this earth knowing that justice was served for my boy. And I know that you've seen pictures, you've seen stories, you've seen my little man. He is truly my hero. And I'm gladly giving that to you guys too, that he can be your hero. I've heard stories of people that have not prayed in years, that have finally fell on their knees to pray. I know where my son's at, without a shadow of a doubt. So many families have been brought closer together because of this. I know my boy is special, and I've told my people and my family and friends that Gannon has a testimony, that Gannon has a story. He's special. And this is his story. So make that story.
And again, to the people that are watching this right now, that's the biological mother, okay? So I understand she's worked up and all of that stuff, but that is the biological mother, okay? Just to let you guys know who that is. And her name is Landon. It's a little bit of a unique name for a woman, but L-A-N-D-E-N, Hiott or Hiott, H-I-O-T-T. That's his biological mother. So she's speaking on the story of her son, knowing that the stepmother that was married to the biological dad did this to this kid, and they had enough information apparently to arrest her ass, but they haven't found the boy's body. That's just, that man, I don't understand. That's just messed up in so many different ways. Resistor Dio, thank you again. Send in another $2 super chat. So thank you very much for your donation. Definitely appreciate you guys when y'all pitch in and do that. So thank you very much.
Magnificent who my child is. And I'm putting my trust into you guys to do that. So thank you for allowing Gannon to be your hero and sharing him with us.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the next video for the people that are wondering. And that right there is the biological father also. So that's both of them together. And I got to say, I really appreciate both of them showing up. So if y'all ask hashtag, where's the father? He's there. He's right there. Okay. Now, these next 2 videos should explain the story a little bit more. So here we go for the people that are just now coming in. Let's get it.
Thanks for joining us on Denver 7 News at 11. I'm Brian Sanders. We do want to get right to breaking news. The spokesperson for the family of 11-year-old Gannon Stauch says an arrest has been made in the case. Today marks 5 weeks since Gannon was last seen. He left his home in Colorado Springs with his stepmother and did not return. That was on January 27th. Now the family spokesperson tells us the stepmom is in custody. Denver 7's Micah Smith is live in our newsroom with what we're learning. Micah.
Brian, Gannon Stauch's stepmother, Letecia Stauch, was arrested this morning in Horry County, South Carolina. That's near Myrtle Beach. On January 27th, Letecia Stauch reported 11-year-old Gannon missing. 3 days later, the El Paso County Sheriff's Office changed his status to missing and endangered. On Saturday, the Sheriff's Office resumed search efforts for Gannon in northern El Paso County. The search was focused on the Highway 105 and Highway 83 area. At last check, the Sheriff's Office received more than 800 tips in this case, from alleged sightings to possible surveillance videos. Now, one of the last confirmed Gannon sightings was on surveillance video. Saw him getting into a truck with his stepmother, Letecia Stauch, but when she returned home, Gannon was not with her. Now, since learning of that video, investigators have insisted there's a lot more to this story than there may seem, and Letecia Stauch has insisted that she would never hurt Gannon. Officials have not said what Stauch is being charged with, but we're expecting a big update from the El Paso County Sheriff's Office during a news conference at noon. We'll be streaming that on our website, thedenverchannel.com, social media, as well as the Denver 7 app. Live in the newsroom, Micah Smith, Denver 7.
All right, we'll be listening closely. Thank you, Micah.
She found out this morning, and still, she found strength to speak.
Really, I'm not in the correct mindset to be even standing up here, but if I had to say one thing, that when he said Gannon is no longer with us, I'd have to say Gannon is with us.
Landon Hyatt finds strength from her 11-year-old son. Deputies told her she will never see him alive again because Gannon Stauch's stepmom was arrested for his murder. South Carolina authorities brought Letecia.
Okay, for the people, and I did not ignore your message, and thank you again to Resistor Diode. I like that name, by the way. And she said, love your work with the heart emojis. Guys, if y'all want to support what we do here, man, that's a very easy way to do it, and also an excellent way to be able to get your message out. Again, I want to say thank you again for doing that. For the people that asked, where was the father when this happened? Here it is specifically. Letecia Stauch, 36 years old, initially told authorities that the boy that you see on my screen, Gannon, was sick and stayed home from school on the Monday in January when he went missing. Letecia Stauch, the stepmother, told the El Paso County Sheriff's Office he left to go to a friend's house between 3:15 p.m. and 4 p.m. and hadn't seen him since then. She was watching Gannon and his younger sister alone while the father, the biological father, was in Oklahoma for a military assignment. So did everybody catch what the story was? Keep in mind, they were married. So that absolutely makes a difference because that means that they would work in collusion with each other to make sure and take care of both of the kids. Okay? So that actually would be a good reason to leave the kids with the stepmom. But me personally, I'd give access, if I were in a situation like that, I'd give my kid's mom access to the kid as much as possible, especially if I'm going to be gone. If the mom doesn't mind doing it, I would have just gave the kid to the mom. But it's so easy to say that, and we really don't know the dynamic of their relationship either, though. But let's go ahead and finish telling this story. But that's what happened, just so you guys know. Hopefully, I explained that. Here we go.
Stauch into custody this morning in Myrtle Beach.
This person, the stepmom that I even trusted, that she will pay 100% for this heinous thing she done.
His mom speaks now because Gannon Stauch can't.
Gannon has a testimony. That Gannon has a story. He's special. And this is his story.
His dad wrote a letter of moments he will miss.
My little boy is not coming home. We will never play Nintendo again.
God, man, I'm going to tell you, that gets me right there. And I'm going to tell you guys, this is how bothered the biological father is. He's right there in the middle. He's so bothered that he had to write out a statement against his own wife. and cry with the woman that he created that kid with and have this woman here in the red read his statement. I don't even want to imagine what that actually feels like. Such a strong woman. Resistor Dio says such a strong woman. I agree. And I'm going to tell you guys, even more so to Resistor Dio's point, think about this. The mom was able to speak her words, and the father was so bothered by it because he probably feels guilty about it, to be honest with you, because you're thinking that you chose the right woman and that woman made a messed up choice. So even he didn't have the strength to read his own statement. That's how powerful that is. But let's keep going. Yeah, thank you, Millie Mill. You said it. His guilt must be unbearable. Thank you very much. That's what I was saying. I should have just said it like that. But I get long-winded. I do that. Let's keep going.
Tuesdays. No more smooth-looking haircuts. No more Big Bubba for Mylena. And no more G-Man for the world.
His family says these memories out loud because stories are all they have left.
Thank you for allowing Gannon to be your hero and sharing him with us.
Katie Eastman, 9 News.
Wow.
In addition to first-degree.
5 weeks now after Gannon Stauch vanished in Colorado Springs, and investigators say the 11-year-old is dead. And this is now a murder investigation. Right now, Gannon's stepmother is in custody.
And I keep looking at this kid, and I'm just wondering, and maybe y'all can understand. I know we got almost about 250 people in the building. Y'all continue to click that thumbs up when you come in, okay? You guys are doing an awesome job with that, all right? But I can't imagine. You look at this kid, and I got to tell you guys, sometimes preteens can be a handful. Like this kid, like, looks can be deceiving, but this kid don't look like he would have done anything wrong or make anybody upset about anything. And it makes you wonder, like, why would the stepmom do that to him? He seems like a very nice, sweet kid. You could just, I'm sorry guys, but I have been around a ton of kids. For the people that don't know about my show or even about me, I used to actually do counsel work for children. I used to be a camp counselor also at a leadership camp. I've been around hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids from all across the United States of America. And I'm sorry, I get a good bead on kids. I look at his face and look at the pictures that they put out there. I don't see a thing that this kid could have did to make anybody not only upset, but especially this upset. Somebody, I think you said it. Sandra said it. She was jealous. Jealousy pushed this stupid ass broad to do this. I agree. Because you saw the love between the biological mom and biological father, and even though they're not together, they were still able to embrace the way that they were because they created a life and created a legacy together, right? And you're damn right that stepmother was jealous. That's what that bitch was. She was a jealous ass, fucking meth face looking ass bitch. She was jealous. That's all it was. It's just that simple. But let's keep going.
We're covering Colorado first at 5, also streaming on CBSN Denver.
The arrest comes even though investigators do not know where Gannon's body is. Gannon's mom talked about the disturbing developments.
And that's got to even be the worst part. They can't even find the boy's body. And the stepmom, that bitch probably ain't going to tell him where he is.
Really, I'm not in the correct mindset to be even standing up here, but if I had to say one thing that...
Oh, wow. Don't tell me that. I'm reading y'all chat messages right now. Somebody in the chat said, I heard neighbor said that the little 11-year-old boy goes around the street offering to shovel snow for people. And let me ask you guys this. For an 11-year-old boy, I'm going to tell you, at 11, 12, and 13 years old, most boys are probably thinking about trying to get a job and make money for themselves. And if he's just doing that out of the kindness of his heart, let me ask you guys this. Could the world not use more children like Gannon at 11, almost 12 years old? Let me ask you guys this. What do y'all think he could have grown up into becoming if he were allowed to live and thrive? A person with that kind of heart. As a kid, it's only so much that parents can push you into doing. But when you start volunteering your time and volunteering your services, just even in your neighborhood, I've always told you guys, you know, you should always start with trying to be a good person at home, and then just allow it to just spread out from your home to your neighbors, from your neighbors to your neighborhood, from your neighborhood to your city, and from your city, just as many places as you possibly can to try to spread, you know, just being a good person, doing a good deed. What could he have grown up into becoming? Started an organization, started a charity, a giving type of person. We're always looking for volunteers for something, whether it be firefighters, whether it be at the Salvation Army, or anything. He could have done anything. And for him to not even get an opportunity, that is the most messed up thing to me about this story, okay? Could have seen him as a firefighter, as a doctor. Y'all know how many times doctors do work, and sometimes the pay, they have a very, very special gift that they do. And it's very few doctors in the world compared to the amount of people we have in the world. Very few people can do that job. And they have to hope and wait if insurance is going to cover, or if these people are going to even be able to cover the cost of the services that they provide. Hope that the insurance takes care of it. But without doctors, without nurses, without people like that who are so willing to care about the sick and those who need it, most of us will be up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. And that's just real talk. Prayers for Gannon. He still needs to be found. You are absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Correct. I guess that's a new word. Correct and right. Correct. Correct. But thank you very much, Resistor Dio, who sent in $15 by way of the super chat and said his body still needs to be found. So again, to the people that continue to share this story, if you know some information, if you see something, please make sure you speak up and say something. And I'm pretty sure that the El Paso County and whoever else, the sheriff's department, would love to get information if you guys have information. But let me let you hear the mom. I'm sorry for taking so long for talking, but here's the mom. Here we go.
When he said Gannon is no longer with us, I'd have to say Gannon is with us. After the stories of people from all over the world, he's not only my hero now, he's the world's hero. So I think the community, the positive support from a state that I've never visited other than 2 or 3 times, I'm astounded by the amount of love that's not come from me. It's came from my boy. And never thought I'd be standing here. It was a nightmare. I've had to put trust in the people I don't know. Today, I got the worst news and the best news. Obviously, we know what the worst news is, but the best news is that justice will be served. And I'll make sure that justice is served, because my boy did not deserve any of this that has happened to him.
Rick Salinger was there in the Springs as Gannon's mother spoke today, and Rick, investigators are determined to find his body.
Well, they certainly are, Karen. This all began when Gannon's stepmother reported him as a runaway. Later, it turned into a missing and endangered person case. And now people have been coming here all day with flowers and teddy bears as this has become a murder case. 5 weeks ago today, it was at this home Gannon Stauch was last seen.
And that's a nice looking neighborhood, I gotta tell you. Pretty standard, but a very nice neighborhood, though. Thought I'd throw that out there.
And now the woman who reported him missing is charged with his murder.
This morning, just after 8 o'clock a.m. East Coast time, Letecia Stauch was taken into custody in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina without incident by law enforcement officers from the El Paso County Sheriff's Office, the Denver and Columbia divisions of the FBI.
A month ago, Letecia Stauch told KKTV in Colorado Springs investigators suspected her.
I asked for an attorney during the interview, and I was denied that by them. I was held.
Oh no, I just remembered what this clip is. I forgot we were going to show this. Oh man. Oh man. Do y'all see what this is? If y'all understand what this is, look at the name and it says Gannon's stepmother. Do y'all realize what just happened? Did y'all catch that? She murdered this boy, and then this sadistic, square-headed ass bitch went and did an interview looking for sympathy. Did y'all catch that? Look at that. I'm going to back it up just so y'all can see it. I'm going to back it up just a hair. God, dog. I forgot I had downloaded that. Christina said, I love what you're doing. Thank you, Christina, for your vow of support. I absolutely just try to give what I can, which is just a platform to try to speak for these babies, man. So thank you, Christina. Listen at this again, y'all.
Office,
watch this.
The Denver and Columbia divisions of the FBI.
A month ago, Letecia Stauch told KKTV in Colorado Springs investigators suspected her.
I asked for an attorney during the interview, and I was denied that by them. I was held because they were blocking the door, and I was told I couldn't leave.
Further suspicion was raised through security camera video recorded by a neighbor.
Shout out to Ring, the company Ring. I would love to get a sponsorship from them, because I would encourage every single person in every one of my videos to get a Ring device. How many times just in the past couple of years have these security cameras really paid off and told a story when motherfuckers were lying about things like this? Yes, we all need security cameras. And I've got them. I don't know about y'all, but you can get even some more economical ones, even if you might not be able to afford the expensive ones. They are amazing investments. Look at this. They found out that she was lying by way of the goddamn security camera. Isn't that something?
On the day Gannon disappeared, he was believed seen with his stepmother, leaving before he was reported missing.
Caught it on tape. Jesus Christ. Guys, that's why she got the murder charge, because they have the video evidence. Check and checkmate. Checkmate. She's done. She's the fuck out of here. She's done.
Then her truck returns without him.
While we have not yet found Gannon, information has been developed that is helping us narrow our search. As you can see.
Ooh, see? Y'all are good. And some of y'all, and maybe even most of y'all, are better than me. You caught that. SWTNOV, I can't pronounce your name. Sweet Nav, I guess. Maybe you mean Navis, but said she referred to him in past tense. I believe this was the interview, I think, gave her away and called her BS. Excellent point. Excellent point. Excellent point.
From the arrest, sadly, we do not believe Gannon is alive.
Massive, relentless searches have failed to turn up the boy. Now family members held hands and shed tears. The G-Man, as they called Gannon, was not coming home. Gannon's stepmother is also charged with child abuse, destroying evidence, and desecration of a body.
Wow. Jesus Christ. Somebody said a Ring device saw a car kidnap an 8-year-old here in Fort Worth. Got the license number and found her alive. Thank God for that. Can we get a prayer hands up in the chat for that? For the members, channel members, we got a special emoji for that. Can y'all put a prayer hands up in the chat for that? There have been a few kids collectively we've been able to find. Just like that. Amazing story, and thank you for typing that in the chat. If you guys have stories like that, feel free to type a story in the chat if you guys know that security cameras have actually made it to where we've been able to find these kids that otherwise we would have never been able to find.
Live in Colorado Springs, Rick Sellinger, covering Colorado First.
Continue to track breaking news tonight at 6.
We are now learning more about the arrest of Letecia Stauch. 35 days after her stepson Gannon was last seen, she's now in jail in South Carolina.
Somebody said there's a video of the stepmom yelling at Gannon. I'm almost scared to tell you this, but if you have the video link, you can send it to me. You can email it to me right here. The AFC podcast, or I said AFC. The AFC Matters at gmail.com. It is the AFC podcast, but I meant the AFC Matters at gmail.com. But if you have it, you can send it. I'm not sure that I want to watch it. I know it's probably going to upset me, but if you have it, you can email it to me. The AFC Matters at gmail.com. So we can share it with the people if you want to, if it's not too horrible. Checkmate. Tisha, checkmate. Thank you. Resistor Dio. Matter of fact, I hope you don't mind me doing this. Just in the very short amount of time that Resistor Dio has been here, sent in a number of super chat messages. So I give you a wrench. I'll give you moderator status. I feel like you've earned it. I appreciate your sentiments and the fact that you care about this. I mean, it seems like you care about this just as much as I do, probably more than me. And I really appreciate you guys caring so much about these kids. But let's keep this thing going, guys. Let's keep going.
Facing multiple counts in connection to his disappearance and death, his body has not been found, so investigators continue to track leads to try and find it. News 5's Allison Zimmerman live for us tonight from the sheriff's office, breaking down all that new information. Allison?
Letecia Stauch is facing murder and child abuse charges, as well as tampering.
Somebody said that he said emailing me. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna be checking my email right now. Said I seen it and he was crying. So you saw it and said he was crying on Plunder YouTube. Okay, well, do me a favor. I read the name out loud, but do me a favor. Don't promote other channels if you don't mind. Just email it to me if you can, because I don't promote other content creators on my channel, just out of respect. But thank you for letting me know, though. You can hear him saying I'm bleeding. If you have the video, shoot me an email. I'll pull it up.
With the deceased body and tampering with physical evidence, but law enforcement says this investigation.
And thank you, BXO. She posted my email address out there, the AFC Matters at gmail.com. Oh, there it is, mac and cheese. THE, the AFC Matters at gmail.com. MATTERS. The AFC Matters at gmail.com. No, that's okay, Wilderness. That's okay. That's okay. You didn't know. If you guys hadn't been here for like a while, then you might not know that, but I tend to try for a lot of different reasons. It is not necessarily to lessen the amount of promotion that another channel gets. It's just sometimes it's just not a good thing. It just depends. Like sometimes people might not want to associate with my particular content because sometimes I say a lot of things that people really don't understand. They don't understand where my anger comes from and how I express myself in these stories. So I don't want to force myself upon anybody's channel. Christina said, pray for the family of Gannon. Thank you, Christina. Send in another $2 super chat. So thank you, Christina. Christina in the building, man. Appreciate that.
Is only beginning.
That she will pay 100% for this heinous thing she done.
Emotional moments from Gannon Stauch's mom, Landon Hyatt. She learned today his stepmom, Letecia Stauch, is now facing charges including first-degree murder in the 11-year-old's disappearance.
Never thought I'd be standing here. It was a nightmare.
A nightmare after weeks of search efforts which are still underway.
Our work is only just beginning.
As of now, investigators haven't released information on what led up to Letecia Stauch's arrest in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina this morning. She's now in the Ted Collins Law Enforcement Center waiting for an extradition hearing to come back to El Paso County. Gannon's dad didn't speak at today's press conference, although he was there. The sheriff's office shared a statement on his behalf.
My little boy is not coming home. We will never play Nintendo again. The person who committed this heinous, horrible crime is one that I gave more to anyone else on this planet, and that is a burden that I will carry with me for a very long time.
Heartbreaking words for a family now living with the painful answer they will never see their son again.
How much time do y'all think she should get in jail? I think a life sentence should be absolutely mandatory. And I think a conviction on a first-degree murder charge will give her a life sentence. But I think that's probably accurate. And I hope they didn't give that bitch no bail. Hope they didn't. Now, that's the full press conference right there. That one's a little bit long. We've already seen most of that. So I'm going to skip to these. So they're a little bit shorter for you guys. But we're almost done. Let's keep going.
Really, I'm not in the correct mindset.
And I've got my email pulled up. If you guys send me that video, I've got my email, the afcmatters@gmail.com. I've got my email pulled up. So I'll be looking whenever you email me.
To be even standing up here, but if I had to say one thing, that when he said Gannon is no longer with us, I'd have to say Gannon is with us. After the stories of people from all over the world, he's not only my hero now, he's the world's hero. So I think the community, the positive support from a state that I've never visited other than 2 or 3 times, I'm astounded by the amount of love that's not come from me. It's came from my boy. And never thought I'd be standing here. It's a nightmare. I've had to put trust in the people I don't know. Today I got the worst news and the best news. Obviously we know what the worst news is, but the best news is that justice will be served. And I'll make sure that justice is served because my boy did not deserve any of this that has happened to him.
I 100% agree with her. Hey guys, let me take a pause real quick. Click that thumbs up for me. Let's try to get over 200 thumbs up. We only need 4 people that have just come in and click that thumbs up. Share the memory of Gannon. If nothing else, we're telling the story here on our particular stream. So if you would, click that thumbs up. That'll help us share the stream and let other people be able to see it. And it'll reach more people if you guys help us share. Just click that thumbs up. Thank you to everybody who's already done so. But let's finish up. Let's listen to Mom. This is the biological mother. Here we go.
So I urge media one more time just to hold off on questions until we know that this person, the stepmom that I even trusted, that she will pay 100% for this heinous thing she done. And I know that that's going to will be done. So I ask you guys, I beg and plead if you've known or if you see this story, all of you have seen this story, please hold that very close to you. Because I want to live this earth knowing that justice was served for my boy. And I know that you've seen pictures, you've seen stories, you've seen my little man. He is truly my hero. And I'm gladly giving that to you guys too, that he can be your hero. I've heard stories of people that have not prayed in years, that have finally fell on their knees to pray. And I know where my son's at, without a shadow of a doubt. So many families have been brought closer together because of this. I know my boy is special, and I've told my people and my family and friends that Gannon has a testimony, that Gannon has a story. He's special. And this is his story. So make that story magnificent, who my child is. And I'm putting my trust into you guys to do that. So thank you for allowing Gannon to be your hero and sharing him with us.
Again, that's the biological mom and biological
So now I'm going to read
father.
a statement from Al, Gannon's dad. In a moment on September 29, 2008, my heart stopped as my baby boy entered this world way too early, weighing only 1 pound, 6 ounces. His infectious smile and constant laughter made an impact on every single person he's ever met. Although I miss the years when he was learning to walk, learning to talk, and he had welcomed his little sissy home from the hospital, I've been looking forward to his teenage years and the fun we had ahead of us as he became a young man. In a moment, on March 2nd, 2020, my heart stopped.
Okay. That's a good timeout to, actually, I've gotten used to these not being on now. I'll leave them off. To GSD Mom, I will tell you, that was actually a good timeout. It was a good timeout. So I'm giving you a thumbs up for that. Let me explain why it was a good timeout, if you guys don't mind me saying this real quick. I don't want to take too much time away from the stream, okay? And I did get one email just now. So, Melly Mel, if you would, check your email. I got yours. And GSD Mom, I got your email. So I'm going to check that right now as well. But thank you guys for sending me those links. But I'm email both of y'all back, okay? Let me tell you why Try Me got timed out, even though I don't see your name here super often. But you said, I don't feel bad for this boy at all. Our black children die every day and no one cares. The reason why I agree with a timeout instead of a block is for this reason. This is the thing that I plant my platform on. Most of the people that have been here for a while, that have watched me for a while, even from my very beginning, know that I have a deep-rooted love for our children, right? I have a deep-rooted love for our children, especially the black community, because of the fact that I am black. I've been a part of the black community since I was born, and I have black children. This is what's crazy, and this is why I don't like people like Try Me, and not just Try Me, but there's so many of them. You could just check the comments in the comments section. What do they say whenever I do stories about nothing but black kids? Do y'all know what they say? How many of y'all have been around me for a while? When I do nothing but stories about black kids, what is it that they say about me? Anybody know? Anybody got the answer? Well, white people do it too. Why don't you never do no stories about white people? They do messed up stuff to their kids too. Right? And you know what I generally will tell them? I'm like, just go back in my channel and you can see all of the Italians that I've done stories on, all of the Irish people I've done stories on, all the Latinos I've done stories on, all of the Germans I've done stories on, all of the generally classed white people, I've done stories on them. I've done stories of all ethnicities, if not all. I probably have done them all. But the majority of my stories, I say about 95% of my stories are all black stories. So when I do too many black stories, now you're telling me to go do white stories. Right? Then I take a story, and not because it's a white story, because to me, it's a kid. My daughter is damn near this boy's age. She's got him by a couple of years. But I know what it's like, because that means I'm probably about that dad's age. Me and that dad could be a peer. Me and that dad might have went to school together. I went to school with all ethnicities, every single school I've been to. That is absolutely ridiculous. Thank you. That's the word that I'm looking for. Why are we looking at this like he's doing a story on a white kid and he needs to focus on black kids? But when I focus on black kids, they turn around and say the exact opposite, and they say, well, you need to do some stories on white people. Which one do y'all want? Like, what? All I'm saying is if you're going to walk that stupid of a line, then just don't say anything. That's the nicest way I could say it, because y'all know I generally will curse a whole lot, and I don't feel like cussing nobody out tonight. I really don't. I've been trying to get better about that. Some of y'all can attest, I've done pretty good not to cuss motherfuckers out, right? Did y'all catch that? I've done really well with not cussing motherfuckers out until I start cursing. Then it goes downhill. Apparently, I can't win. That's my point. Why are we even focusing on race when I'm talking about this story? That's why I agree with the timeout, because maybe Try Me can come back and say, you know what, dog? Jay, I apologize. You show right, bro. You show right. I look at your channel and I can see how diverse your channel actually is. Do I have a preference for black kids? Yes, I do. But you also have to remember that's something I can relate more to. You generally will talk about something that you can relate to. Yes? So if you've been raped before, then I would expect that you will probably talk more about rape than you would about cooking. Don't curse, you'll wrinkle your sweater. We got to have some comical moments. I'm just using this as a comical moment because this story is really sad, but it also brought up a deeper point that I meant to try to address a long time ago, but we're pretty diverse here. And at this moment, I see that as a guy that I could have went to school with. We're about the same age, and his kid is damn near the same exact age as my daughter. That is a child. 11 years old is a kid who cannot speak for himself, and Gannon could not defend himself against a woman. That lets you know that this kid was a kid. That lets you know that he wasn't even a teenager yet. Give him a couple of more years, I bet you he probably would have whooped that woman's ass. He would have whooped Letecia's ass when she tried to take him off somewhere and go murder him. But that's why I specifically focus on children, as opposed to older people who are considered to be grown, because they actually have an opportunity to defend themselves. There is absolutely nothing an 11-year-old can do to defend themselves against a grown-ass adult. Absolutely nothing. Resistor Diode sent in a $50 super chat, and I'm going to tell you what she said. She said, for the deep-rooted love of our children. I'm telling you guys, like, if you've never worked around children and watched how children come into a situation, I'm going to tell y'all exactly what my experience was at camp. My camp life was just like this. These kids come in on these buses, these long bus rides from all across the United States of America. They come to our area. They get off this bus, and the first thing they see is us cheering and screaming and clapping for them, and we're happy to have them. And they're just like, who the hell are these people? Why? They don't even know us. Why are they acting like this? Give them basically 8 days with us, and those kids are crying because they don't want to leave us. They are, at the end of it, they're laughing and screaming and having a great time, and they don't want to leave us. And we've made so much of an impact on a lot of these kids' lives that they've only been to our camp once, and they can talk about those 9 days that they spent with us for the rest of their life. And I want you to think about how impactful that is. 365 days in a year, and 9 of those days is something that they could talk about until the day that they die. Think about that. And some of those kids only get to experience that once. You know, when I was going to that camp, the first time I went to that camp, when I was the biological father's son's age. I went to that camp the first time when I was 11 years old, when I was Gannon's age. You see how the wheels are turning in my head? You see how that works? I can easily relate to this. I remember what I was doing at 11 years old. All kids matter. Thank you for that. All kids matter. They absolutely do. Everybody deserves an opportunity. They really do. Let's listen to the rest of this, guys. She's reading off the biological father's statement. So here we go.
Up again, with what we have heard up to this point. My little boy is not coming home. We will never play Nintendo again. No more Taco Tuesdays. No more smooth-looking haircuts. No more Big Bubba for my Lena, and no more G-Man for the world. The person who committed this heinous, horrible crime is one that I gave more to anyone else on this planet, and that is a burden that I will carry with me for a very long time. But the God I believe in is the owner and decider of justice and vengeance. Only He can repay. Although I am selfish and want my baby boy here, now and forever, how can I question God for bringing Gannon home to him? Because Gannon believed in God and I will never stop believing. Thank you to the El Paso County Sheriff's Office and the FBI for the thousands of hours it took to uncover the truth as we know it.
Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a couple more videos and we're going to wrap up. I know I've had y'all here for a while, and I thank y'all for being patient. Again, if you come in, we got 231 thumbs up. Our goal is to try to reach 250, so if we can get that goal tonight, that'd be awesome. That's a good building point for the night. So click that thumbs up, and we're going to wrap up here. I know a lot of y'all got to go to work in the morning, so let me go ahead and give you guys a couple more videos, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up for the night. So here we go.
My little boy is not coming home.
We've already seen it.
We will never play Nintendo again. No more Taco Tuesdays.
The unbearable gasping pain mounting with each no more.
And no more G-Man for the world.
Put into words by Gannon's father and mother.
Gannon has a testimony. That Gannon has a story. He's special. And this is his story.
On week 5 of her son's disappearance, Landon finds the strength to speak about G-Man, her hero, pictured in a cape on her shirt, calling this painful update the best and worst news.
Obviously, we know what the worst news is, but the best news is that justice will be served. And I'll make sure that justice is served, because my boy did not deserve any of this that has happened to him.
Both Albert's statement and Landon's plea speak to Gannon's stepmother.
The person who committed this heinous, horrible crime is one that I gave more to anyone else on this planet, and that is a burden that I will carry with me for a very long time.
This person, the stepmom that I even trusted, that she will pay 100% for this heinous thing she done. And I know that that's going to will be done.
So absolutely heartbreaking to think any family would have to go through this right now. And family members spoke, and after we heard from law enforcement who told us they are pledging their dedication to do whatever it takes to bring Gannon home to his family and find him. We know he's not alive, but the family deserves that, and they say this search, it's far from over. Reporting live in El Paso County, Nicole Fierro, Fox 31.
More than 12,000 signatures, with that number slowly ticking up.
This has kind of blown my mind, to be honest with you.
Taryn Witt started the petition for Gannon's Law just 24 hours earlier. She doesn't know Gannon's family and doesn't live in the area, but Witt says as a mother, she feels strongly about how Gannon's case was handled in the beginning.
I just don't feel like a child that young, even if they are a runaway, should be classified as anything other than missing and endangered.
I 100% agree.
From very early on.
And that right there proves that even a small voice can make a huge difference. Did y'all catch that? That one woman's voice is making a difference and a law getting added to the books. That's amazing. Shout out to that woman. That's awesome.
Gannon was reported missing as a runaway January 27th. 3 days later, the El Paso County Sheriff's Office upgraded his case to an endangered and missing child. The decision was based on weather, the amount of time passed, Gannon's age of 11 years old, and the fact that he needed certain medications. Upgrading the case brought in national resources to help in the search.
It's just frustrating that those first few days were kind of missed out on. I feel like, you know, there was a lot of opportunity that slid by because of that.
I asked the Colorado Bureau of Investigation about the criteria for an endangered and missing child case. The CBI says they work closely with law enforcement to determine the best course of action based on the specific components of each case and investigation involving a missing child. Witt says even if Gannon comes home safe, she'll still push for change.
I think that if police were given the full resources early enough on, they would have had a much greater chance of finding Gannon and bringing him home safely.
I spoke with a family member of Gannon's who says she supports the idea of the petition, but not necessarily the wording as it is now. Witt says she'll get as many signatures as possible before contacting lawmakers about next steps. In the studio, Rachel Skida, Fox 31.
Rachel.
Authorities late today announced and then abruptly canceled the search for tomorrow for missing 11-year-old boy from Colorado Springs. Gannon Stauch disappeared a month ago today. His stepmom reported he had run away. Now, 17,000 people have signed a petition for what's called Gannon's Law. That would require kids under 13 be treated as missing or endangered after being gone just 3 hours.
I do believe that deploying all resources earlier on would have made a huge difference in this case, and I believe it can also make a difference in cases going forward as well.
Let me address this for the person asking about the father in this case. And I think I said this before, and maybe you guys missed it, but I could tell you again. It says that Letecia Stauch was watching Gannon and his younger sister alone while the father was in Oklahoma for a military assignment. The father was not there because he was, and matter of fact, to all of our people that are past, present, and future military, but especially past and present, shout out to our people that serve our country, by the way. He was in Oklahoma on a military assignment. I know where the military base is in Oklahoma. I'm from Oklahoma, so I know. But that's where he was. He was out of town for work. Thank you. Why wasn't he charged? I get it. And maybe some people just missed that bit of information. That's why they only charged the stepmom. That's it. And also, I forgot to tell you this. Also, she was caught on video surveillance taking him away from the house in her red truck and then returning with the red truck without him in it. Then she gave a story. Then she gave a news interview, and they realized, oh, this bitch is lying. Right? That's the way it works. That's how you get a murder charge.
The El Paso County Sheriff is conducting the investigation along with the FBI. It classified Gannon as missing and endangered after 3 days, during which he could have been out in the cold, without his medication.
Thank you for coming today.
All right, these next two videos are kind of long, so we're going to skip those. Let me go ahead and give you guys my closing thoughts about this story. And I'll tell you guys this. Whenever, and that's why I like what GSD Mom did earlier with the timeout. It was an amazingly appropriate timeout. Like, I think you guys have learned the way that we handle things over here in the AFC. Like, even when we don't agree or even when we misunderstand each other, you guys are smart enough in that chat to try to talk it out, kind of figure out where each other is coming from. And that way we can have just better communication. Because I think one thing that a lot of us as Americans suck at is really just the art of communication. Even for me, it's taken me, I'm 36 years old and I'm still learning every single day how to communicate. What to say, what not to say, or how to better explain myself to somebody, or really just to wait and get all of the facts and then make a statement. And I admire you guys for that. I really do. I've been watching y'all talking in the chat more now than I ever have, but I've definitely been paying attention to what you guys have been saying. Did I get the video of him crying? Let me see. Let me refresh my email. Let me make sure. Because I got a little bit that I want to say. What we're learning about Letecia Stauch, the stepmother charged with murder. Oh, Lord. Let me see. If there's the video, then... okay. Let me watch it first before I show you guys. Let me see what it says.
When it comes to health coverage, it's about choices.
Of course, it's going to play an ad first, but that's why I try to do all of this before we start.
New York's Mayor Mike Bloomberg helped expand health insurance to 700,000 more people. As president,
I don't want to hear about. I'm not voting for Mike Bloomberg. Fuck him.
Would be nice to have an overpass for 501.
Harris is live in Myrtle Beach with what they had to say. Donna. It's a big.
That didn't show me anything. Let me try this other video.
As mayor, Mike Bloomberg united.
I don't want to hear about Bloomberg. My God. This man got 1 million ads. I'm not voting for his ass. It doesn't show really anything, just audio. Okay, well, that video, I thought that's what y'all were sending me. I didn't get that one.
Once called Horry County home is believed to be dead. His stepmother, there she is, she's in jail tonight, charged with murder. And we're learning more about her. In fact, we've spoken to her on camera in the past.
ABC 15's Andrew James went to Carolina Forest, where Stauch once lived. Andrew, what did you learn?
Report Bloomberg for spam. I will.
The Stauchs now call Colorado Springs home. The home in Myrtle Beach recently sold. Neighbors could not recognize them, but shared the set.
Never thought I'd be standing.
Believe his stepmother, Letecia Stauch, had some Paso County. County records show the Stauchs sold their Myrtle Beach home last year. I combed the block, asking neighbors about her. No one seemed to know this former neighbor, but we have learned Stauch worked here from 2010 to...
It would be nice to have an overpass for 501.
License last March.
Not deserve any of this.
For Gannon.
Okay, now, for this particular video, the reason why I didn't show as many news videos as I did is because a lot of this stuff became repetitive information. This one I've already seen, and we've already talked about all of these details. So no, to answer you guys' question, did I get that video? No, I haven't gotten a video of her yelling at Gannon. I didn't get that one. So hopefully that answers y'all question. But yes, I did check that email. But the information that was in that video, we've already talked about all of that. At the end of the day, here's how I want to close this story out. For the biological father, and the fact that I learned about the fact that he's actually on a military assignment in Oklahoma, for that woman on the far right-hand side to misuse and abuse that man's trust like that, he doesn't really have much of a choice once he joins to serve our country. He has to go when he is called. That's also how he's able to provide such a nice house and such a nice life for that woman, Letecia, and provide for their kids. One of them being her stepkid, Gannon, right there. She's supposed to hold it down and be a mom, be a mother, be a human being until he gets back. But what did she do? She went off and lied and blamed. How many times have we done stories about these parents lying on the kids and saying that the kids did something wrong? How many times? Let's see. Oh crap, I'm out of fingers. I can't count how many stories where we've watched them lie about what happened and they blame it on the kids. And that really just makes it more inflammatory, knowing the fact that this kid is dead behind that woman and they can't even find the body. I'm pretty sure that's insulting, that's hurtful, and it's just kind of like you probably, as a parent, these two parents right here probably can't get any sleep. What was that father supposed to do? Relationships don't work out sometimes with people you have kids with. And most of all of us should understand that, especially being in a climate in America where the majority of children are born outside of wedlock. So a lot of us are born not being with our biological mothers and biological fathers underneath the same roof, in between the same four walls. So a lot of us have either come from broken families or we've come from blended families, like I like to call it. Okay? Gannon was a part of a blended family. He deserved just as much respect as his baby sister inside of that family. There should have been no hate that came from this woman, Letecia, at all against this boy who didn't do a thing wrong to her. The only thing he did was be born and be in a family where a woman was thinking about her selfish, her own selfish thoughts and being jealous of the biological mother. We hear about men doing this all the time, killing off the cubs whenever he comes into the situation. And here it is, we have a stepmom who has done something that is unspeakable. It's unfair. She lied, tried to cover it up, and then get in front of the world on camera looking for sympathy. She deserves every bit of that prison term and probably more for what she did to Gannon, who was only 11 years old. She'll be in hell with the rest of the pedophiles, the rest of the child abusers, sitting in that corner, stacked on top of each other in the devil's lair inside of hell. And me personally, I can't wait till she gets there. Hope she dies a swift death for what she did to that boy who could not speak for himself, and he was just small enough to where he could not defend himself against the tyranny of his stepmother. He deserved better, and my heart goes out to the biological father, and I want to not only thank him for serving our country, but, you know, he deserved better from just a human being, let alone his own wife. To the mom, I'm sure she's even doubly hurt by this because of the fact that not only did they not work out, if they worked out, they might have been able to keep that boy and preserve that boy's life. It's sad and it's an absolute shame, but our heart goes out to them, and I hope that they get the justice that they're looking for, and even more importantly, at least just to have closure and at least get the body back, okay? But I want to thank you guys so much, and again, you know, give a shout out to the biological mother and the biological father, and to the boy, to Gannon, who's 11 years old. Get his face on the screen for you guys. This young man right here who had so much promise, he was giving and loving to anybody and everybody around him, and he deserved an opportunity to grow up and be something great. To this awesome, smiling young man right here who was on this earth and could have grown up into being something amazing. Gannon Stauch. R.I.P. Young soul. R.I.P. Okay. This is your boy DJ Just Jay. We are the AFC, where we advocate for children first. From my heart to yours. From my heart to yours. I love you guys. Thank you guys for listening to the stream, and thank you for supporting the AFC, where we advocate for our babies. That's the end of the stream. Peace.